Hey everyone, my name is Kirsten Mukherjee and I work at NSF in the Small Business Innovation Research or SBIR and Small Business Technology Transfer or STTR program, also referred to as America's Seed Fund, powered by the National Science Foundation. I'm thrilled to be able to share with you today some information about our programs and the opportunities that they present to the SHPE entrepreneurial community. Our focus is this. We aim to support very early stage startups and small businesses and bring commercially disruptive, unproven technologies out of the lab and into the market. Our SBRS TTR programs fund through grants and cooperative agreements, depending on the phase, the R&D necessary to de-risk your technology. This funding is non-dilutive, meaning we don't take or own a piece of it. We don't ask to be a member of the board, and our funding is not a loan that you pay back. We operate at scale with a sizable budget. I'll get into the details in a bit, but we award roughly a quarter to roughly $1 million per small business per year. So that's about 400 awards to 400 unique businesses across the country. Supplements are also provided through our programs to our awardees, which, in addition to these original awards that I'm talking about, can amount to a total of $2 million in R&D funding from our programs to your company. Speaking of our portfolio, what makes NSF and our SBRS TTR program so unique is that it is technology agnostic. As you can see here, we fund small businesses with R&D across a wide spectrum of technologies and markets. We simply ask entrepreneurs and small businesses to bring us their best technical ideas, and we aim to de-risk them. One caveat though, the NSF SBRS TTR program does not support clinical trials or proposals from companies whose commercialization pathways involve Schedule I controlled substances. Another unique aspect of our program is that we fund awards to companies and applicants who, for the most part, have never submitted proposals to NSF before. For some of these companies, this was their first time applying for federal grant funding ever. And many, if not most of our awards at the phase 1 level, are companies with less than 10 employees and some with only 2. So we're working with folks at the very earliest stage of company and startup development, as you can see on our next slide. I imagine many of you in the audience or those listening in can relate here. When you're at the very first stage of innovation, your team is only a handful of employees and the company is just starting off. 81% of our phase 1 awards in FY 2020 went to startups that were established only within the last 5 years. These are small, early stage companies. All right, so now how does this work? I hope I have your attention. All right, so we use a phased approach in our SBRS TTR programs and our funding, which is similar to programs at other federal agencies. Startups and small businesses would first apply for phase 1 funding, which supports R&D to prove out the technology's feasibility. The awards at this level are $256K, and the duration, depending on the project, can be about 6 to 12 months. Once the phase 1 is complete, the small business can apply for a phase 2 funding, which is really aimed at them developing a prototype or an MVP based off of the phase 1 effort. This is where things really scale up. And as you can see, the funding level now jumps to $1 million and the duration doubles to 2 years. The phase 2 is really focused on moving your company towards commercialization and scale. Once you are awarded the phase 2, there are additional opportunities to receive supplemental funding, one of which is the 2B. The 2B is amazing. If you as a small business can bring in private third-party investment, we will match you at the NSF dollar for dollar up to $500K. So that means you bring in $500K of investment, we match $500K. That's an additional $1 million total. So what's the process now that you understand the phases? Well, to start this exciting journey, we ask entrepreneurs and small businesses to first submit a project pitch regarding their innovation and technology. I'll discuss the pitch in a second, but wanted to let you all know that this timeline is available on our Seed Fund site with all the necessary resources and links. So I highly recommend that you go there. All right, so the project pitch, step 1. This is a 3-page project pitch. You can submit it at any time. There is no deadline, and you will get a response from NSF within about a month. Now, what are we looking at the project pitch level? We're looking to see if this is a good fit for our program, right? Because many of you might have had the experiences of applying to something, waiting 6 months, and then you find out that it was never a good fit in the first place and you've wasted time and effort. Here, we're trying to have you submit this 3-page pitch. We get back to you in a month to let you know, yes, this is a good fit, proceed, submit a proposal, or maybe this isn't a good fit, rethink your technology and maybe send a new idea. What are we looking at again at the project pitch level? We're looking at 4 things: the innovation, the technical objectives and challenges, the market opportunity, the company, and the team. And again, the company and the team may just be 2 people at this point. I pointed this out a little bit earlier when we were talking about our portfolio. When you submit your project pitch, you're going to be presented with a bunch of different topics that you can submit for in your project pitch. Now, if you're looking at all these technology topics, this list is not exhaustive. If you've got something that goes in between these 2 or is just not even there, then submit to other topics and we will take a look and get back to you. Again, we're not going to fund clinical trials or work on Schedule I controlled substances. All right, so now you got this project pitch in. What happens next? 2 things, and maybe 3. One would be that you get an invitation from NSF that would say, yes, this looks great. This looks like a good fit. Please submit a proposal for the phase 1 project. Okay, so that would be an invitation. If the pitch doesn't look like it's a good fit for our program, we will get back to you and we will say, look, this isn't a good fit, and here's the reason. Okay, or we might get back to you and say, this project pitch, we've got some questions about us. Tell us about this project. Tell us more. So there's a couple things that could happen here. Now you've got hopefully an invited pitch and you're going to start submitting a proposal. What are we looking for at this level? We're looking for impact, right? We're the National Science Foundation, so we're looking for intellectual merit. We're looking for broader impacts. And we're also at the NSF, SBRS, TTR programs, we're looking for commercialization and commercial impact. So those are commercial potential. So you might not have a plan right off the bat, but at least you've been thinking about it. Eligibility, less than 500 employees. Again, did I mention some of our awardees have 2? The company needs to be majority owned by the US citizen or a permanent resident. The work must be done within the United States, and the project PIs need to spend the majority of their time on these projects. And you can find more about this on our seed fund site and our solicitations, of course. So I cannot encourage you all enough to get started today. Again, bring us your ideas, take a chance, submit a pitch. And if you have any questions at all, reach out to me, or you can go to the email that's listed on this page right here. And thank you again for the opportunity to present on our exciting programs. And I wish you all the best.